New York Knicks head coach Mike Brown recently explained his decision to bench star center Karl-Anthony Towns during the critical fourth quarter of the team's victory against the Portland Trail Blazers. The move surprised many observers, as Towns had been performing well throughout the game before being sidelined in the closing minutes. Towns contributed significantly with 20 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists across 28 minutes of action in the Knicks' win. Despite his solid statistical performance, Brown chose to keep him on the bench for the final period. The coaching decision raised questions about the team's strategy and the relationship between the first-year coach and his star player. Brown addressed the situation during his post-game media availability, explaining that while Towns typically finishes games for the team, he decided to ride the momentum of the players who were already on the court. Brown stated that the unit on the floor had strung together multiple defensive stops and was executing well in transition. When a particular lineup demonstrates strong chemistry and effectiveness, he prefers to maintain that continuity rather than making substitutions based solely on the rotation schedule. The coach emphasized that he would make such decisions as long as they don't drastically impact a player's overall minutes allocation. In this instance, the group that remained on the court was generating consistent defensive pressure and converting those stops into fast break opportunities. Brown felt that disrupting this rhythm would have been counterproductive to the team's chances of securing the victory. This situation reflects a broader adjustment period for both Towns and the coaching staff. Brown acknowledged that adaptation works both ways, noting that Towns has faced the most challenging transition period of any player on the roster because he has had to learn the most extensive playbook changes. The center must familiarize himself with new offensive sets, defensive schemes, and pace of play expectations that differ significantly from previous seasons. Brown also accepted responsibility for facilitating this transition, stating that coaches must simplify systems and position players optimally for success. He recognized that placing Towns in the right situations while asking him to execute his responsibilities effectively requires collaboration between player and coach. This mutual adjustment process takes time and patience from all parties involved. Reports suggest that Brown and Towns have experienced some friction throughout the current season. While insiders indicated that any significant conflict has been resolved, the adjustment period clearly continues. Towns has reportedly struggled more than other players in adapting to Brown's coaching philosophy and system requirements. The transition has been particularly difficult given the stark differences in approach compared to previous coaching regimes. The change in coaching styles represents a significant shift for the Knicks organization. Starters are receiving fewer minutes this season compared to last year, when the team reached the Eastern Conference Finals. Brown's predecessor had a well-known reputation for heavily relying on his starting lineup, sometimes to the point of criticism. Brown clearly takes a different philosophical approach, emphasizing fresh legs, matchup advantages, and situational basketball over rigid adherence to predetermined rotation patterns. Towns has previously acknowledged that his adjustment period has been the most extensive on the team. In some games, these growing pains have affected his rhythm and consistency on the court. However, his 20-point performance against Portland, even with limited fourth-quarter action, might indicate that the new system is beginning to click. The center's ability to produce efficiently within the modified role suggests progress in the adaptation process. The benching decision ultimately proved successful as the Knicks secured the victory and ended a concerning losing streak. The win was particularly important given the team's recent struggles, as they had dropped several consecutive games heading into the Portland matchup. Breaking that negative momentum provided a much-needed confidence boost for a roster still finding its identity under new leadership. Brown's willingness to make unconventional decisions based on in-game momentum rather than status or salary demonstrates a coaching philosophy focused on winning basketball rather than managing egos. This approach stands in stark contrast to many coaches who feel obligated to play their highest paid players regardless of circumstances. Brown's confidence in trusting his instincts, even when it means benching a max contract player during crunch time, shows the kind of leadership that can lead teams deep into the playoffs. The coaching staff will continue monitoring Towns' integration into the system throughout the remainder of the season. Progress has been visible in recent weeks, with the center showing better understanding of spacing requirements and defensive rotations. His ability to contribute effectively despite the reduced fourth-quarter minutes against Portland suggests that he may be turning a corner in his adaptation process. Whether this approach will continue to work throughout the season remains to be seen, but for one game at least, trusting the hot hand paid dividends for the New York Knicks. The team hopes that such flexible decision-making will become a hallmark of Brown's tenure and contribute to sustained success throughout the long campaign ahead. Hart's importance to the Knicks cannot be overstated. While other players receive more headlines and command higher salaries, nobody affects winning quite like the versatile wing player. The team's recent struggles without him serve as clear evidence of his value. During Hart's absence, the Knicks lost 7 of 9 games, with 8 of those contests played without their emotional leader and defensive anchor. The correlation between his availability and team success is undeniable. The Knicks certainly have star power on their roster. Point guard Jalen Brunson and center Karl Anthony Towns receive the majority of shot attempts and media attention. Both players command significant salaries and sell the most jerseys among Knicks players. The wing combination of Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby earned recognition throughout the league for their elite defensive capabilities. Backup guard Miles McBride has become a fan favorite whose three-point attempts inspire the Madison Square Garden crowd to chant his nickname. All these players contribute meaningfully to team success. However, Hart's impact extends beyond traditional statistics and recognition. His contribution to winning basketball manifests in ways that don't always appear on the stat sheet. During the previous season, under former coach Tom Thibodeau, Hart led the entire team in minutes per game with 37.4 minutes of action per contest. That heavy workload helped propel the Knicks to the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs and an eventual appearance in the conference finals. This season, under new head coach Mike Brown, Hart's minutes have decreased to 30.3 per game. The team's record without him this year stands at 2 wins and 6 losses, suggesting that increasing his playing time could benefit the team. Brown may need to reconsider his rotation strategy given the evidence of Hart's importance to team success. The adjustment to Brown's coaching style has affected all players differently, but the team clearly suffers most when Hart sits. Hart's statistical production this season demonstrates his well-rounded contributions. Through 29 games, he averages 12.4 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 5.1 assists per contest. These numbers reflect not just his minutes on the court, but his constant involvement in every possession. His shooting efficiency stands at 49% from the field, 39% from three-point range, and 84% from the free throw line. Both his raw numbers and advanced statistics highlight a player who excels at his assigned role while maintaining the flexibility to expand his responsibilities when needed. Hart's game extends far beyond what statistics can measure. His impact on winning comes through intangibles that championship teams require. He pursues second-chance scoring opportunities with relentless energy. He sacrifices his body diving for loose balls that other players might concede. He sets back screens to free teammates for better shots without concern for his own offensive numbers. These aspects of basketball don't appear on box scores, but they prove vital for championship contention. Players thrive on the energy that Hart brings to the court. Coaches appreciate his willingness to do whatever the team needs. Fans recognize and celebrate his effort and commitment. This mentality apparently stems from his college days at Villanova University, where he won a national championship in 2016. Hart has carried that winning culture and selfless approach throughout his professional career, never wavering from the principles that produce victory. In his first game back from injury, Hart delivered 18 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists while connecting on 3 of 5 three-point attempts. His immediate impact helped the Knicks snap their losing streak and defeat a Portland team that had won 5 consecutive games entering the matchup. The victory showcased exactly why Hart means so much to this organization, as his energy and effort immediately raised the performance level of everyone around him. Hart's return couldn't have come at a better time for a Knicks team desperately searching for answers during their recent slide. His presence stabilizes both ends of the floor, providing leadership that extends beyond what any coaching adjustment could accomplish. Players feed off his intensity and willingness to sacrifice, creating a contagious attitude that elevates the entire roster. The coaching staff recognizes Hart's unique value and will likely adjust rotations to ensure he receives adequate playing time moving forward. Finding the right balance between utilizing his talents and preserving his health for the playoff push will be crucial. The team learned during his absence just how irreplaceable certain qualities truly are, and they won't take his availability for granted going forward. The Knicks possess plenty of talent and skilled players throughout their roster, but they cannot accomplish their championship aspirations without the heart and soul that Josh Hart provides every single night on the basketball court. His importance transcends statistics and salary figures, embodying the intangible qualities that separate good teams from championship contenders. As the season progresses toward the playoffs, Hart's role will only grow more critical to the team's ultimate success. The New York Knicks have made 2 French players available in trade discussions as the organization looks to reshape its roster before the league's trade deadline. According to NBA insider Mark Stein, forward Guerschon Yabusele and rookie Pacome Dadiet have both been placed on the trading block. Neither player has established a consistent role within the rotation, and the team appears ready to move on from both acquisitions. The news comes as little surprise to those following the team closely. Both Frenchmen have struggled to earn playing time and have spent most of the season outside the regular rotation. Their combined salaries total approximately $8,347,600. Due to league salary cap apron restrictions, the Knicks cannot acquire more salary in trades than they send out, limiting their options in potential deals. Yabusele's journey to this point has been unconventional. Boston selected him with the 16th overall pick in the 2016 draft, but he washed out of the NBA after just 2 seasons. He spent 5 years playing overseas, competing in China, France, and with Real Madrid, where he helped the Spanish club win 2 EuroLeague championships. His performance for France in the 2024 Paris Olympics, where he helped lead the national team to the gold medal game, brought him back onto NBA radars. Philadelphia signed Yabusele to a minimum contract for the previous season. Despite the team's disappointing overall performance, the 6'7" forward provided a bright spot. Across 70 games, he averaged 11 points and 5.6 rebounds while shooting 38% from three-point range. His versatile skill set and solid production positioned him for a pay raise and made him an attractive commodity in free agency. Multiple teams showed interest in Yabusele during the summer. The 30-year-old forward ultimately chose the Knicks, signing a 2-year contract worth $11 million with a $6 million player option for the second season. However, the fit has been problematic from the beginning. He appears ill-suited for Coach Mike Brown's fast-paced system and has looked noticeably out of shape. Listed at 283 pounds in the team's media guide, Yabusele carries one of the heaviest frames in the entire league. Playing time has evaporated for Yabusele in recent weeks. He missed his 2nd consecutive game on Sunday with a right quadriceps contusion. Through 32 appearances this season, he averages only 3.3 points and 2.2 rebounds in 9.9 minutes per game. ESPN's Bobby Marks recently proposed a 3-team trade scenario that would send Yabusele to San Antonio, Jeremy Sochin to Washington, and Cam Whitmore to New York. Whether such a deal materializes remains uncertain, but it demonstrates the type of packages being discussed around the league. Meanwhile, 20-year-old rookie Dadiet has barely seen the court. He has appeared in just 14 games, logging only 44 total minutes of playing time throughout the entire season. Other young players on the roster, including Tyler Kolek, Ariel Hukportai, Kevin McCullough Jr., and Mohamed Diawara, have all earned meaningful minutes at various points. Dadiet has remained staple to the bench and has bounced between the main roster and the team's G League affiliate in Westchester, where he has appeared in 6 games. To the surprise of many observers, Dadiet actually played in the season opener in Boston. The rookie logged 13 minutes in that game, but saw action in only 98 mostly garbage time minutes over the next 81 games last season. His most significant contribution came through helping the Knicks avoid luxury tax penalty. Selected 25th overall in the 2024 draft, Dadiet agreed to take 80% of the rookie scale salary, saving the organization $904,000 and helping them finish just $53,000 below the tax threshold. The Knicks have experienced limited success with French players throughout franchise history. They selected center Frederick Weiss with the 15th overall pick in 1999, one selection before New York native Ron Artest. Weiss never played a single minute in the NBA and is primarily remembered for being posterized by Vince Carter at the 2000 Summer Olympics. Then came Frank Ntilikina, selected 8th overall in 2017 by Phil Jackson, ahead of guards Dennis Smith Jr., Malik Monk, and most notably, Donovan Mitchell. That decision haunted the franchise for years. The disappointment hasn't been limited to draft selections. During the summer of 2021, Leon Rose acquired sharpshooter Evan Fournier through a sign and trade with Boston. Fournier received a 4-year deal worth up to $78 million, but failed to last even 2 full seasons in the starting lineup. After collecting DNPs for over a year while hoping for a trade, the Knicks finally moved him along with Quentin Grimes to Detroit at the 2024 trade deadline. No major roster overhaul appears imminent for this Knicks team. The organization is simply trying to move 2 players with essentially no trade value in current market conditions. However, by attaching draft capital to either or both players, they could potentially upgrade the roster while removing pieces that don't fit their long-term plans or current rotation needs moving forward this season.